G'day and welcome back to Project 200. Just a quick video today, changing the transfer case and front and rear differential oils. This is one of the easiest DIY servicing procedures on the 200. You only need basic skills and tools and the job will be done in under an hour. These oils should be changed at 40,000 kilometre intervals, and Toyota will charge you over $400 to complete the change. But it'll cost you about half that to do it yourself, even using premium oils. 2 different oils are required for the 200. For the differentials, you'll need a total of around 6.5 litres of a 75W85 gear oil, which meets the GL5 specification. Now this is a surprisingly difficult oil to find, as most gear oils in this viscosity only meet GL4. Using a below spec oil runs the risk of differential failure, so I wouldn't suggest risking it to save a few dollars. I'll be using Penrite Pro Gear GL5, which is a fully synthetic oil and one of only 2 options I could find that met the required specifications. For the transfer case, you'll only need around 1.5 litres of a slightly different 75W90 GL5 oil. This one's much more widely available, with numerous brands to choose from. Again, I'll be using Penrite Pro Gear, but you'll find a long list of suitable alternatives on the Project 200 website. First up, we'll do the rear differential. With the vehicle on a level surface, place a drain pan under the rear diff. Then remove the fill plug and the drain plug using a 24mm socket and allow all the oil to flow out. Note that the drain plug has a magnet, so give it a check to make sure there's no chunks of metal or large filings that could indicate differential damage. You should then wipe the fill and drain plugs clean and replace both washers. Note that these are crush type washers, so it's important they be replaced each time you change the oil. I'll put a list of the correct part numbers on the website. You can then reinstall the drain plug with the new washer and tension it to 49 Nm. With the drain plug back in place, you can begin refilling the differential with oil. Remember, it's important to use the correct 75W85 GL5 spec oil. You can use a hand pump, but I found the easiest method is one of these 12-volt electric transfer pumps. The total capacity is around 4.2 litres, but you'll know it's at the correct level when oil starts flowing out of the fill hole. You can then remove the filling tube, replace the plug and tension it to 49 Nm. Now we'll move on to the front differential. This one's slightly more difficult because being an independent suspension setup, you'll need to remove the bash plate or the factory plastic cover to access the diff. Then, using a 10mm Allen wrench or hex socket, remove the top fill plug and the bottom drain plug and allow the oil to flow out. As with the rear diff, the drain plug has a magnet, so check it for any metal fragments. Give both the plugs a clean and replace the aluminium crush washer on the fill plug and the copper washer on the drain plug. Again, these washers are single use and should be replaced with every oil change. You can then replace the drain plug and tension it to 39 Nm. With the drain plug in place, you can begin refilling the differential with the same oil used for the rear diff. Again, I'm making life easy with a 12-volt electric transfer pump. The front diff oil capacity is only around 1.9 litres, and once again you'll know it's done when oil starts flowing out of the fill hole. Once it's full, you can replace the fill plug and tension it to 39 Nm. You should then refit the bash plate or factory plastic cover and tension the retaining bolts. Finally, we'll move on to the transfer case. Before you can change the oil, you'll need to remove the vibration dampener and the rather complex factory guard. The dampener is held in place with 2 bolts with 14mm heads. The guard, meanwhile, is retained by 8 bolts, requiring a mix of 12mm spanners, sockets and extensions to remove. There's also an earth strap attached, which easily unclips from the top of the guard. Once the guard's out of the way, put a drain pan under the case, then remove the top fill plug and the lower drain plug using a 24mm socket and allow all the oil to drain out. There's no magnet on the transfer drain plug and the washers are solid aluminium, so you may get away with reusing them, but for the small cost, I'd suggest replacement. You can then refit the drain plug and tension it to 37 Nm. Once you've done that, refill the case with 75W90 GL5 oil. The capacity is around 1.5 litres, and once again the fill indicator is when oil flows from the fill hole. Once it's full, you can refit the fill plug and tension it to 37 Nm. Then lift the guard into place and reattach it using the original bolts. Don't forget to reattach the earth strap to the top of the guard, then replace the vibration dampener. I'm using some Loctite on all the bolts to ensure that they don't come loose. I hope you found this video useful. You'll also find engine oil and filter, fuel filter and automatic transmission fluid videos on the Project 200 website. Click the link at the end of the video to take you to the site, where you'll also find a list of suitable oils and the correct part numbers for all the washers used during the video. See you next time.